Hello friends, today we are going to start the third part of the chapter Natural Resource, Land, Soil and Water. And today we are going to start from soil conservation. Now, in the previous video, we were talking about the depletion of soil fertility, how the soil fertility is declining due to the erosion or the running water, deforestation, overgrazing. So, for conservation of soil, we have to understand that whatever is the cause of the depletion, there only we need to work out. So, for that, the conservation of soil, we have to check with the, supposing deforestation is the cause, then what do we have to adopt? We have to adopt afforestation. Overgrazing is there, so what do we have to take care? That the overgrazing should not happen. In this way, we shall be talking about different methods which are being adopted for the conservation of the soil. Now, afforestation, if you talk about, then afforestation is the plantation of the trees. It is very much effective method to conserve the soil. More trees and shrubs should be planted, and that reckless cutting down of the trees should be stopped. So, the roots of the plants, as we know, it holds the soil and it protects the soil to be eroded. Then checking overgrazing, as we know that it is also one of the cause of the depletion of the soil. So, soil fertility. So, overgrazing should be checked. The animals which are grazing over there, what happens? The continuous grazing on the same piece of land brings the exposure of the land, and due to which the rain and water, it erodes the topsoil. So, what should be done? There should be some fodder should be grown to as a crop, so that the animals also get those for their grazing, and they will not graze the fields. It will not open the fields to the open to the rain and wind. Then next is the crop rotation. It is also one of the method which is used to conserve the soil. So, this crop rotation, you see, it is nothing else but when the crops are grown on the different crops are grown on the same piece of land, and each year during different times, such thing is known as crop rotation. Here you see in your screen that how the crop rotation, here you see potatoes and legumes, then basins and onions. These are the crops which are being rotated one after the other. Here also you see another image on the crop rotation. It is showing that how different types of crops are grown on the same piece of land. In this way, in one piece of land, different types of crops are grown at different times. This is known as crop rotation. Now, the next is like when you say counter plowing. Counter plowing, it is nothing else but it is a method in which the farmers, they plow parallel to the counter. It is done in the near the hilly areas, and these hill slopes, they form the natural barrier so that the water doesn't flow down. So, this is the method which is also being adopted so that the soil can be conserved. Then next is the terrace farming. Terrace is the word, it is used for steps also. So, you see the step like structure is also there, and it is very much effective for the conservation of soil, especially in the mountainous region, where the relief feature is in the, you can say the land is in the slopy manner. So, in this method, what happened? The hill slopes, they are cut into terraces, and there after cutting into terraces, flat areas are created where the crops can be grown. Then the next method is the strip cropping. Strip cropping, it is also a method through which the crops such as small grains and grasses, they are planted, and alternatively with cultivated crops. in the narrow strips. You can see the image that how the strips are prepared, and these cover the crops, and they also absorb the moisture also and holds the soil together so that the soil doesn't get eroded. Then you have the cover cropping. Cover cropping, you see, the wind blows actually. Okay, now these trees, they act as the barrier to stop the speed of the wind. Now wind, as we know, that it is also, you can see in the image that the trees are planted and then the crops are grown on the other side. So in this way, what happens, the areas where these or you can say such as orchards and plantations, they cover the crop, and they are planted between the young trees, and then this helps in the soil erosion. Then you have another type, that is the, this is also one of the image for the cover cropping. Then you have another type, that is known as the plant shelter belt. It is usually done in the dry areas where the wind erosion is very much common, because in dry areas the vegetation is also very less. But to do the agriculture, what happened, the rows of trees and shrubs are planted, and this actually reduces the speed of the wind, and it also, and in this way it protects the soil. So that is why these rows are called shelter belts. Okay, then you see another type, that is named as the rock dam. Now what is there in the rock dam? The rocks are actually piled, they are all brought close to each other and they are piled together, and this checks the flow of water, because water is an agent of erosion, and in this way when the flow of water is obstacled, then it prevents the loss of soil by the flood. Okay, so the soil erosion and the it doesn't happen much, and that is why it doesn't let the fertility of the soil to be lost. That means it protects from the loss of fertility. The method for conservation of soil, it is should be very much planned, and it should be in the very scientific way, so that the protection of the, or you can say the conservation of the soil can be done. This is also another image for the this rock dam, which are made by the human beings, and they collect the rocks and they pile it together so that they can stop the speed of the flow of the water and conserve the soil over there. Then today we are going to start another new topic, that is under the topic of water. Okay, as we are dealing with this chapter about land, soil and water, so now we shall be talking about the third natural resource, that is the water. Now see, water is very essential for our life. It is well known to all of us, and we know that about 70% of the total surface of the earth is covered with water, and that is why our planet is also named as watery planet, or it is also named as blue planet, as it appears blue. If the photograph is taken from the distance at a higher altitude, then it appears blue. That is why it is also named as blue planet. Now water, if we are talking about, then majorly it is very important in our life, and let us see that where these water is available on the on our earth. So it is available in ocean, seas, and then dams, rivers. So vegetation also, it also through evaporation, it is present in atmosphere also in the form of water vapor. So total percentage of water, if we see, then out of the total percentage, 97% of water is found in ocean and seas. Okay, and it is saline in nature, and it is not fit for domestic or agricultural or any of the industrial uses. So let us see that how we are using, you are majorly using fresh water. So if we see the fresh water, it is only 3% of fresh water is available, and this fresh water, it is available in different forms like glaciers, ice caps, then atmosphere, then rivers, and one of the main source of the surface water, you can say, one of the main source of fresh water is rainfall. Okay, then it is also found in the rivers, lakes, ponds, streams. Then underground water also, as we know that we are having hand pumps or tube wells through which the water from the underground is also taken out. Then water vapor, see, it is in the atmosphere. Now these, if we see the fresh water, I have told you where it is, all this water is present, all the 3% of the fresh water where it is present. Now for several uses, this water is being consumed, but every fresh water cannot be consumed. Like glaciers are there, then ice caps, then atmosphere it is present in the form of water vapor. So everywhere it cannot be used for our various domestic uses or agricultural or any industrial uses. So if we see that this fresh water is very precious to us, and only a very small percentage of, let us see, like approximately 1%, approximately 1% of the water which is which can be used by the human beings. And this out of this 1%, this water which we get from the rain is also, of course, the fresh water, and it is it also gathers in rivers, lakes and ponds. So see, the water is very much precious to us. And just now I told you the percentage, like 97% is found in the oceans and seas, which cannot be used for domestic agriculture and industrial uses. Then the ice caps and the glaciers, or the water which is present in form of water vapor, that is also present. So every all these percentage counts the 3%. So it is very much important in our life, and that is why it should be preserved also, it should be conserved also. The use of water should not be in such a way that we should waste the water. So now you understood the importance of water and the less percent of water which the people are using. So the entire water, it is in the form of a cycle that is known as the water cycle. Okay, it is this water cycle goes on, and this fresh water, it is in circulation due to this water cycle. Now scarcity of water, let us see, because we know that the many times we are finding that there is scarcity of water also. Why this scarcity of water? Because day by day our population is increasing, and with the increase of the population, we need more food. For more food, we need to grow more crops, and then more urbanization is taking place, and side by side the living standard is also growing, and for everything lot of water is required. So for this reason, in many parts of the world, many regions of the world, there is scarcity of water. There are many countries which are having sufficient of the water. There are countries which are also being used by this, the scarcity of water is there in many countries, and there are many countries which are also having abundance of water. Now this existing resource of fresh water are either drying up or getting polluted. Okay, many areas, there are many reasons we have studied in the previous class also, that how the water is getting polluted. Now this distribution of fresh water is very highly uneven in our world, because even if we talk about the rainfall, our rainfall is also not uniform everywhere. So this is only because there is difference in the climatic condition. The climatic condition is not uniform throughout the world. In India also, if we talk about throughout the country, our climatic condition is not the same. So for that reason, the availability of water is also not the same in every area. Relief features also, or if you talk about the availability of the rivers, in every area rivers are not, the lands are not being well drained by the rivers, because everywhere perennial rivers are also not there. So there is difference in the amount of water which is found in different regions. Now, what are the water is a very important resource to our country. Now, what are the things which we will find over here? Like, what are the things which we do out of water? So, India, we majorly in our country, the monsoon season is a season when we have the rainfall. But this rainfall is also not the same. As I told you, that rainfall is also not the same everywhere. So what happens that there are regions we come to know that some areas are well flooded, and there are areas which are having less supply of water also, and there is lot of scarcity of water. Now many dams are being built on different rivers, and then these for example, if I talk about, then on river Satluj, Bhakra Nangal Dam is being made. And why? What facilities do we get from these dams? That it is used for multi-purpose, you can say, for fisheries or irrigation, and then generation of electricity also. So that is why this multi-purpose project, it is also named as Temple of Modern India, because it is serving many purposes in our life. Like I told you, irrigation, and this construction of dam, it also helps in the controlling of flood. Okay, generation of electricity, then fisheries is also done. So besides all these things, many recreational facilities are also being done, and now it is being that how many recreational facilities of playing at children go to play in such a water park and all. So these are some of the recreational facilities which we get from this water. So it is very important source of our in the world. Now, as we know that water, the percentage of water which is present, which is being consumed, that is means 3% is the fresh water. Then the growing population is there, which is creating a scarcity, and then water resources which are present in our India. So it is very important that this water has to be conserved, because water plays a very vital role. Now agriculture is also done. So we see that the conservation of the water resources, and we see then the plantation of trees, for what that is being used majorly when we talk about agriculture and all. Then plantation of trees and other vegetation, for that we need lot of water. So more plantation of trees should be done, as it also helps in bringing down the rainfall. Then it is in the increasing population, what happens? It results in the water scarcity due to the great demand, because the water is very common for all the people to be used, and it is very necessary that some urgent steps should be taken to conserve the water. And in most of the countries, like especially if we talk about India, it is facing lot of shortage of water, and there are some measures which has been taken for the conservation of water. Now for example, the plantation of trees and other vegetations, which also checks out the run of water, and it helps in letting the rainwater seep down under the ground. Then another thing is that water harvesting should be done, so that whatever water in the urban and the rural areas are there, it should be stored. This rainwater should be stored underground through the water harvesting method. Then this another there is method, like we are majorly using the water for agriculture. Now there are many plants which are using the sprinkling method. Okay, there are trees and plants which require very small amount of water to grow. So for that, sprinkle irrigation and drip irrigation should be promoted, so that the plants and trees which require less amount of water, there only that much of water should be supplied, so that we can conserve the water. And especially in dry regions with high rate of evaporation, this drip and sprinkling irrigation is very useful, because the plants which need the water, they should get it, and it should not be like the water should be made to flow on the land and be wasted. So it is very valuable resource and can be conserved by a very planned projects which should be made by the people for the proper utilization, and it and protecting the availability of water resource from the pollution. Because if the water, see this less percentage, 3% of the fresh water, if it is very important for the people and we are having in shortage also, so it should be protected from the pollution of it the water from getting polluted. Okay, it is very important that we make the best of the this availability of this water resource, and in a very economical manner it should be consumed. So this is all in this chapter. Hope you must have understood well. Do try to go through the same part in your textbook. Okay, thank you.